Good morning, dear students. Hello, myself Dharmendra Rawal. I am a social science teacher, and today we are going to start new chapter. Dear students, chapter number 8, natural resources. This chapter is about resources which we obtain from the nature. Dear students, here we have to discuss about the resources and their utilization. Dear students, we are utilizing lots of different resources which we obtain from the only nature. Okay. Normally, we divided resources into two parts. That is natural resource and second one is man-made resource. Dear students, today in this chapter we are going to discuss about resources, their uses, their obtaining places, and also we have to discuss about their form. Okay. So let us see chapter number 8, natural resources. The things which we use in our daily life in a different form which gives us satisfaction and complete our needs is called resource. Dear students, beginning of the chapter, here it is given a simple definition of resources. Okay, what is meant by resource? A simple thing. Okay, the things which we use in our daily life. The things which we use in our daily life and which gives us satisfaction and complete our needs with the satisfaction is called resources. Lots of things, dear students, we utilize in our daily life like mobile, laptop, camera. Okay, these are some technological things. Along with that, we have seen food, clothes, vehicles, many other things are there. So all these things are called resources. Why? Because we are utilizing that resources in our daily life and that things can give us satisfaction and complete our requirements. So it is called resources. All human beings complete their needs from different resources. Okay. We all know that all the human beings have their own requirements, their own needs, and we all are utilizing different things. So it is called resources. There are thousands of elements available on the earth. These elements are called resources. Dear students, elements, resources, okay? Thousands and lakhs of elements are presented on the earth. And that resources, that element we are utilizing in a different form called resources. Only human beings have the knowledge, ability and skills to utilize the resources to complete their needs. Have you seen donkey utilizing any resources? No. Lion utilizing any resources? No. Only human beings have the knowledge, ability and skill to utilize the resource. Otherwise, this resource restores in interior part of the earth. We obtain it from the nature, so it is called natural resource. Why we call them natural resource? A simple thing. The things which we obtain from the nature is called natural resources. Okay? Dear students, lots of things are there which we utilize from the nature. The things which we obtain from the nature is called nature. So lots of things are there. Lots of elements are there that we obtain from the nature and we are utilizing. So in short, we can say all the human beings and all living things are depend on nature. Okay? Let us see. In other words, we can say that human is dependent on the thing, on that thing need to fulfill is called resources. Okay, whatever the requirement is there. Okay, and to complete that requirement, we need particular things. We need resources. We need elements. So that element, that resource, that thing is called resources. Anything that we use to complete our needs is become resource. Okay? Anything. Suppose I am utilizing pencil. So pencil is resource for me. So in a different way we are utilizing different things. So it is called resource. In ancient times we had knowledge to use these all elements in our daily life. But due to technology and science, now humans have knowledge to use all these resources for betterment of life. Dear students, earlier no technology, there is no knowledge, ability and skill to utilize all these resources in their life or in daily life. But now due to technology and science, now human being is able to utilize all the resources for the betterment of our life. So in short, we can say from the last 100 years, okay, from the last 100 years, we have seen utilization of natural resource is increased because of science and technology. Okay, natural resource have two things that are utility and capacity to work. All the resource and all the natural resources have two things, that is utility and capacity. Utilization of any resource and capacity to produce power of resource. Okay, the resources are made for three interactions, that nature, man, the culture. Dear students, we all are utilizing these resources for the human being, for the animals, and for the other purpose. So in short, we can say the resources are connected or they have the interaction with three things, that is nature, man and culture. Means in short, we can say human beings utilize nature for their development of their culture. Okay. Now let us see the first point of chapter. It is given uses of resources. Let us see first point of chapter, uses of resources. Or in short, we can say what are the different use which human beings are done in their life. Okay. So let us see. First point is given resource as a food. Dear students, we are utilizing resource in the form of food. So in that various products we use in our daily life in the form of food, that is resources. It provides us energy in our body. Some products are fruits through trees, food grains through agriculture, meat, milk and their products from animals, fish and aquatic food from sea and honey from honeybees. Dear students, why we are taking food, that we all know. Food gives us energy to do work. So we are taking food every day in our routine life. We are obtaining this food from the different origin points and from the different places or through different fruits. Like fruits we are obtaining from the tree. Means resource is fruit and source is tree. Same as it is food grain through agriculture activities. So resource is food grain and source is agriculture. Meat, milk and their products from animals. Dear students, the things which we utilizing in our daily life is called resource, and the resource obtained from the particular place or from the particular thing is called source. Okay. Meat, milk and their products from animals, fish and aquatic food from the sea and honey from honeybees. So these are the food products which we utilize in our daily routine life for the getting carbohydrates, vitamins and some other minerals. Okay. Second point is given resource as a source of raw material. We use many things in our daily life. It's raw material for other products. Okay. We are utilizing lots of things in our daily routine life for the raw material to produce other products like forest products, agro products, wool, hide, meat from animals, minerals ore and other ore materials for industry. There are lots of things that we are utilizing in the form of raw material. Okay. Suppose we want to make sweater, so we need wool. Suppose we want to make any agriculture product, so we need agro product. Same as it is, we need to make any meat product, so we need meat. So all these raw material are obtaining from the nature. Okay, raw material required to produce final goods. So we all obtain raw material from the nature or from the natural product. Okay. Third point is given resource as a energy resources. Resource as a energy resource means the resource which we utilizing to produce energy. We use coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. are natural, non-renewable energy resources. While wind energy, hydro energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, etc. are renewable energy. So dear students, here it is given lots of things that we utilize in our daily life are very useful. Okay. So here it is given normally two different types of energy resources are there. First one renewable resources and second one is non-renewable resources. What is mean by renewable and what is mean by non-renewable, that we will discuss later on in this chapter. Let's see which are the non-renewable resource and which are the renewable resource. Here it is given some examples. So coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. are called non-renewable resource. Okay, while renewable resource like wind energy, hydro energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, etc. are renewable resources. It means we produce again and again with after fixed interval is called renewable resource. Okay. Now after uses of resource, here we have to discuss about the types of resources. Types of resources divided on the basis of ownership, distribution. Okay. So let us see first one is about on the basis of ownership. Different types of resource divided or classified on the basis of ownership. Here it is divided ownership into three parts, that is individual resources, national resources and global resources. Okay. So let us see first one, what is individual resources. Detail of resources given, owned by family, person or group of a person. Okay. Owned by family, person or group of person means group of people. So dear student, individual means a particular person have rights, particular group of people have rights and particular family have rights to utilize that resource only, like land, vehicles, house, company, etc. Here I have given some examples. So that is example of ownership resources on the basis of individual. Okay. Second one is given national resources, owned by nation or any region, means under the central government or under the state government. Nation means national government or region means any state government. Army, international trade, different tax, etc. Army under the control of central government. International trade is also under the central government and different tax which is collected by state government as well as the central government. Third point is given global resource. Let us see details of resource. All physical or non-physical resource used by human at the same time. Global resource means same type of resources are utilized by a human being at the same time in different places like land, air, water, sea route, air route, etc. Dear students, global resources are in a abundant form like water, okay, air, land, sea route, air route. So these all are called global resources. It means all the resources are utilized by all the human beings from the different nations at the same time. So it is called global resources. Okay. Now second point is given resources on the basis of distribution of places. On the basis of distribution of places. Lots of resources are there which is divided or disintegrated with the different places. So what are that different? resources that we have to discuss over here. First point is given universal availability. So first one is given universal availability, means this resource or such a type of resource is available everywhere. All different gases found in universal, okay, or universally. Oxygen, nitrogen and many more are that you all know. Okay. Second one is given generally availability, easily available everywhere. Land, soil, water, forest, etc. Animals, birds, these are also example of generally availability of resources. Easily available everywhere. Third one is given rare availability, means this type of resource available in particular place. In a particular part of the nation or world, such a type of resource is found. Like example is given gold, coal, silver, copper, sodium, uranium, etc. Okay. Fourth one is given solitary availability. Solitary availability. This type of resource found at only one or two places in the world. Okay. It means such a type of resource is found rarely or in a very particular places in the world, one or two places. It is given cryolite found only in Greenland. Same as it is gold found only in coal mines of Karnataka in India. Means cryolite is at the international level while gold is at the national level. In our India, only gold found in coal mines in Karnataka, while cryolite found only in Greenland at the international level. So here two different example I had given at the national level and at the international level. Okay. Now let us see some other resources on the basis of their properties. Dear student, on the basis of their properties, some example is given over here and some resources given that we have to discuss over here. We all know that normally all the resources are divided into two types, renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Okay. So let us see what is meant by renewable resource and what is meant by non-renewable resource. First one is given renewable. It is also known as inexhaustible. Means the resource which we can use more than one time after a fixed interval of time is called renewable resource. Dear student, you can just see over here the resource which we can use more than one time and have the ability to reproduce again. Okay, is called renewable resource. But we can utilize after a fixed interval of time. It is called renewable resource. Example is given wind, water, land, solar isolation, bird, animal, human being, etc. Wind energy is there. Water, hydro energy is there. Okay, land, geothermal energy is there. Solar isolation means solar energy, bird, animal, human being, etc. are the example of renewable resource. Means all these resources have the ability to reproduce again after a fixed interval. Okay. Now second one is given non-renewable resources. It is also known as exhaustible. Renewable is known as inexhaustible and non-renewable is known as exhaustible. The resources which are not renewed after its utilization and we cannot use more than one time is called non-renewable resources. Means non-renewable resources are like they are not supposed to renew again after utilization and they are not supposed to reproduce again after utilization. Okay, means we cannot use more than one time. It's called non-renewable resource. Example, petroleum products, kerosene, diesel, petrol, these all are petroleum products. Coal, mineral gas, and etc. are the example of non-renewable resource. Okay. Dear student, it is very necessary that we have to utilize all the resource in a proper manner with a proper utilization. Okay. So here it is given planning and conservation of resources. We need proper planning, we need proper conservation, and also we need a proper management for the utilization of resources. Conservation means use anything with a proper planning with a preservation. Okay. What is meant by conservation? It means we have to utilize water. It means we have to utilize any resource with a proper planning. Use anything with proper planning is called conservation or preservation. Normally we have increased the use of resources from last 100 years due to development of science and technology. Yes, students, from the last 100 years we have seen that utilization of resources is increased because of technology and science. But the result of this use is very bad and have very bad experience. Okay. But after that we have seen the result of the utilization of resources is very bad, and also we have seen we face bad experience from the nature side. So it is our duty to conserve them and protect them from the decline of their amount. It is the responsibility of each and every human being, each and every person from our society, that they have to preserve them, that they have to conserve them and to protect them. It means responsibility from the all sides is that we have to utilize resources as per our requirement and as per our demand. We are not supposed to waste them, we are not supposed to lose them, but instead that we have to protect them from the decline of their amount. Another meaning of conservation is rationally use, reuse and proper arrangement of resources. Means rationally, as per the requirement and as per the need. Reuse. Some of the resources are there that we have to reuse, recycle them. Okay, and with the proper arrangement. Okay, it is called planning and conservation of resources. Okay, after planning and conservation, some points is given over here that we have to keep in our mind before utilization of any resources. Dear students, some provision for the resources is given that we have to discuss, and how we have to utilize all the resources. That provision is given over here. Okay, so let us see first point: collect information of use, unused and remain stock of resources in our nation. Dear student, it is a responsibility of government and minerals department of our nation and Ministry of Minerals Conservation to get information and to collect information of used, unused and remain stock of resources in our nation. Dear students, we have seen some of the resources are in abundant form in a large amount in our nation, while some of the resources from our nations are in limited form. So it is a responsibility of each and every human being, each and every person, that they have to conserve, they have to collect all the information, and also it is a responsibility of human being to utilize all the resources in a proper manner. Second point, the resource which is in limited form or non-renewable, it should be used with the scientific method when it is required. Dear students, some of the resources are in a limited form or they are non-renewable. So it is a very necessary that we have to utilize as per the requirement and with the proper method. If possible, then we have to collect that resource from the earth, from the interior part of the earth, with the proper scientific method and with the proper machinery. So it should be not waste and it should be managed and conserved properly. Third one, try to increase the amount of non-renewable resources like petrol, kerosene, diesel, natural gas and coal. Dear students, these all are the natural resources: petrol, kerosene, diesel, natural gas and coal. But it is very necessary that we have to increase that amount. Okay, along with that, unnecessary. We are not supposed to waste such a resources. Okay, and also we have to take care of such a resources in a proper manner. Dear students, if possible, then we have to utilize alternate resource of non-renewable resource like petrol, kerosene, diesel. Okay, instead of these three resources, we have to utilize electricity or some electrical machines in our factory, and also we have to utilize more and more electrical vehicles on the road. Okay, this thing is very useful for the human being as well as the our nature. Okay, two things are possible because can maintain with the electrical with the utilization of electrical vehicles and electrical machinery. The first thing is we can stop pollution. And second thing, we can conserve our non-renewable resources. Okay, clear? Fourth one is given, the resources which are in abundant form or cheaper, it should be not wasted and okay, but we have to utilize them but use properly. It means lots of resources are there in our nation or on the earth that is in abundant form, means in a large amount, or they are very cheaper, means less costly. Okay, so it is very necessary that we have to utilize in a proper manner. We have to conserve them, and we are not supposed to waste them unnecessarily. See, dear students, conservation means what? Conservation means use properly. It means not that you have to stop your utilization. You are not supposed to use just that resource. Whatever demand is there, whatever requirement is there, that we have to utilize, that we have to use it in our daily life, but with the proper amount, with the proper arrangement, with the proper management. Okay, like water is there, air is there, solar energy is there. Okay, forest is there, animal, birds, all are in abundant form, but many people are killing animals, hunting birds, right? And we are wasting water and everything. But we have to use properly all these things. It is called conservation. The resource which are in less amount, it should be used properly and find out its alternate resources. Dear students, we have seen lots of resources are in a less form or in a less amount. So it should be properly utilized and we have to find out their alternate resource. Alternate resource means same thing and same work we can do but in a other form. Like kerosene, petrol and diesel is there, but we have alternate resource, that is electricity. So we can use electricity instead of petrol and kerosene, diesel. Okay, so alternate resource is useful for the conservation and for the preservation of resources. Some necessary laws should be made for the conservation of minerals and resources. This is very necessary that we have to make some strict rules and regulations for the conservation and for the preservation of resources. Dear students, lots of people are wasting water, wasting resources unnecessarily because they does not have any knowledge and they are not aware about the rules and regulations. So we have to make some rules and we have to make them aware about for the utilization and for the conservation of our resources. Okay, dear students, lots of resources are wasted unnecessarily by the human being. So this thing is very necessary that we have to utilize them, we have to conserve them, and as per our requirement we have to get it. Okay, last point of some provision, that is society and government should work together for the conservation of resources and animals. This is very common point, dear students. We have seen every time at the last of the point is society and government. Combinedly both work together for the development and for the conservation of resources. Only society cannot achieve goals and only government cannot achieve goals to for the conservation and for the preservation of resources. So society and government both combinedly work for the development and for the conservation of resources. Okay, dear students. Now here we will complete our first lecture and first part of chapter number 8. Remaining portion we will see in chapter number in the second lecture of chapter number 8. Thank you. Have a nice day.